Vincent, Roslina, the kids Patricia, Vincent Jr. and Helen Diana produce some of the most amazing coffee coming out of Bolivia. Let's go find out more.
My name is Steve Layton, and I travel the world finding amazing and delicious coffee for you to drink at home. Some make coffee difficult to understand and complicated, but here it's my job to make it easy and fun and tell you what's in my mug.
So we've done a few of these now within my mugs with Vincent's coffee, and you know what a big fan I am of the family. They are just absolutely unique and special and amazing. It comes from Caranavi, near to the town of Copacabana, owned by Vincent and his family. The altitude of the farm is around about 1,550 metres above sea level, and it's a Caturra. But what is special about this farm? Well, Vincent is part of the Sol de Mana project, and Sol de Mana is a way of helping coffee producers get access to agronomic advice, get access to new plant tissue and seedlings to plant on the farm, and to get advice on how to plant them and how to look after them as part of the program. They have to sign up to it, and they have to sign up to go to so many of the classes, and for that they will be attached to a buyer like me, and Vincent is, we buy 100% of the coffee from Vincent and his family, and it becomes like a partnership. So the more they produce, the more we buy, and the more we actually pay a little bit of a premium for this coffee. So it incentivizes him to plant these new plants, because it takes, you know, up to 4 years to get a yield from those coffees.
Si nosotros nos hemos decidido cultivar ya café, porque no teníamos antes asesoramiento. La empresa nos está facilitando asesoramiento y para agrandar nuestra producción. Por eso lo tenemos ya, como ustedes ven, ya está preparado ya para 1 hectárea. Cada año vamos a ir avanzando porque no teníamos experiencia, no podíamos meter de golpe. Como ya lo tenemos experiencia, ya este año posiblemente ya lo tengamos alistado para 2 hectáreas. Y al posterior otros 2 hectáreas vamos a ir avanzando. Porque tenemos terreno 10 hectáreas. Porque por falta de asesoramiento así lo hemos tenido, chumi, monte. A veces no estaba producción, a veces no era así. Pero con este método es a lo seguro. Entonces por eso nos hemos decidido ya a trabajar. Por eso estamos hasta hoy, ya como lo ven, ya casi el 40% de crecimiento. O sea, hasta agosto, noviembre ya vamos a tener listo para plantar ya en noviembre. Sí.
¿Ha tenido buenos resultados?
No, pues con esto vamos a tener el 100%. Sí. Porque nosotros antes sin asesoramiento lo teníamos así chume, muy cerca. Pues aquí lo ve también, ya la empresa nos está asesorando, ya lo hemos separado, una planta lo hemos sacado, es más despejado y va a dar más producción.
Una línea de plantas saca del surco.
Sí. Entonces estamos yendo a lo seguro, no así como antes, trabajábamos así a nuestro criterio. Sí. Eso es en cuanto al proyecto, estamos para avanzar más con la producción.
But Vincent is the poster child of this. He's one of the first producers to really grab it by the horns and drag it through. It's not been without its challenges. Last year, Vincent was incredibly ill. So ill he was in hospital for a number of months. And his wife had to basically manage the family and manage the farm. She is a superwoman and has done the most amazing job. And there's been actually no drop in yield this year, even though she was having to do it all herself. The kids also dug in as well. And you may not like that kids work on farms, but at the weekends they were up there helping mom because that's their livelihood. All of their savings, everything that they've done has gone into building this farm and making sure that they have it for the family, for the future, and going forward. The good news is, when I went last August, Vincent is looking better. He's not 100% fixed. He's still a little ill and he's not 100% out of the woods, but he's doing better and he's progressing. And last I heard that he's doing really, really well, which is great news. But I love this coffee and I love this family. So what we should do, I think, is why don't we focus on the tasting notes of this coffee and really drill down into the detail. So I've chose Vincent and his coffee for the tasting notes for completely different reasons to what I normally choose it for. I normally choose it because they're quite complex and they're quite, quite deep and like complicated. But these are not complicated flavours. You get a beautiful milk chocolate. You get a fantastic caramel, a little bit of a toasted pine nuts, which is perhaps a little bit complex, but then a little bit of a lemon acidity, and that's it. It's not a complicated coffee, but what it is a chugging coffee. It's a coffee that I can sit on a Saturday morning and drink a Chemex of and go, actually, I might have some more. Because it's not overly complex and it's not overly deep, and they're flavours that most people can get and understand. It's a very accessible coffee, but also of super high quality, and definitely one of my favourites. While I was there this year, I took my drone that got stolen by KLM. I'm very angry about this still. But before it was stolen by KLM, I do have some drone footage of the farm, and you can see Vincent and the family looking at it like it's a foreign object. So here's a little bit of a clip.
So here we are on, oh come on, get your head, Vincent Paye. Oh, my head is not on. Here we have our driver who looked after us and took us up to the farm. Fantastic 4x4 skills. Here's the star of the show, maximum concentration. It's not easy, like flying a drone, and this was my first time flying it with my new one, so it was a little bit of a shock. But you saw Vincente and Jennifer there, and here we have the view of the farm, view of the trees, a view of the view. It's absolutely stunning. Just look at that valley. Can you imagine waking up every day and looking at that valley? You can just see there in the distance, Carmelita. Carmelita is a farm that we've had on SSSSSS this week, and we're going to have later on in the year a little special competition lot from her. But that's brand new planting there. But this is the brand new planting on Vincente's farm. So all of this used to be old trees, and the old trees were not producing. They were old, they were tired, the plant tissue just wasn't up to the job. But with the new planting, Vincent's making the most out of his land. He's making more delicious and tasty coffee. But more importantly, he's increasing his yield. And by increasing his yield, this means he can increase his profits and the money that he makes. So just look at all these beautiful new plants, like planted so perfectly. This is the little house that he stops in when he's working at the farm, but he's also trying to make a little bit of a garden area as well, so when the family are there they can play and live and enjoy. You saw the little outdoor seating part that they've built. There it is, there's the outdoor seating part. It's just beautiful. And then he's also got an experimental drying table, so he's doing some little experiments in the farm and taking more control of his own farm, which is just amazing. Like, from a guy that really was producing very little coffee, producing all this amazing coffee. See, he's got some shade trees in there that he's planted as well, and these shade trees help protect the coffee plants but also protect the environment. Vincente doesn't just want to be a farmer, he wants to make his land good, not just for now but forever. They were super interested because you can get a little view, and got them to wave at the drone. They were so interested in what was happening with this magical thing.
So here we are, and there's been a hole in my life. A hole in my life? And it's been Cool Cafe. So Cool Cafe is a Scandinavian way of making cowboy coffee. It's basically a kettle that you boil the water in and boil the coffee in, and should make completely disgusting and horrible coffee for you to drink at home. It doesn't. It's really tasty. And we've had these on the website for quite a while, and I think we've sold around about none of them, because you don't seem to want to spend a lot of money on a kettle. But it brews interesting coffee. It is cowboy coffee, so like when you're camping, it's perfect for that. I've actually took one camping in Sweden and enjoyed it very much. And this is from Voodoo Donut. Voodoo Donut is a place in Portland, Oregon, that makes 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year donuts. And the queue out the door is 40, 50 people long, all day long, every day. Their donuts are very good. Just as this coffee is very good. Milk chocolate. Now, I know that's a bit boring, but I like milk chocolate in my coffee. Caramel. It's a bit boring, but I love caramel in my coffee. Now it gets a little bit more complex. We've got a little bit of toasted pine nuts in there. You get a little bit of like a lemon-like acidity in there, and a sharpness and a cleanness, and a beautiful long finish. But that's actually really, really good. And I don't know how you should never boil coffee. You should never do what this thing does to coffee, but it is delicious. Listen, thank you for joining me. Please do come again. You are always very welcome. And do remember, life is too short for bad coffee.